Ozzy Osbourne playing his last ever show and the final send-off of his very long and very successful career. Now, the show was announced. Tickets went on sale. The show sold out in 15, 16 minutes, something crazy like that. Ticket prices were obviously very expensive. I think nosebleed seats were probably around, and I'm doing a rough conversion on English pounds to dollars. But when it comes to US dollars, I think the nosebleed seats were $600, $700, $800, maybe close to $1,000. And they had a gold circle ticket, a premium ticket that was probably, somewhere between $3,600 and $4,000, somewhere around those lines. Obviously, fans were complaining about that. And then Ozzy said he will be performing bits and parts of songs, which I'm going to assume they will be playing Black Sabbath songs, maybe some Ozzy material, and he'll probably, because there are a lot of guests too, he'll probably be singing those songs with other people. Because there are a lot of guests. You have people from Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Hailstorm. There's a whole list of people. I think Jake E. Lee is coming back to maybe do a guest spot. But he's singing bits and pieces of songs. Now, a lot of people, a lot of haters have come out and they have started condemning Ozzy, saying, they're gouging fans and saying it's a huge, giant money grab by him and his wife. And of course, they're bashing Sharon Osbourne. Typical stuff, typical comments that you see. Let me dispel a few things and let me kind of put some things into context for everybody. First of all, it's really not a money grab, because any profits from this show, they're going straight to a charity for Parkinson's disease research and, of course, a children's hospital. And the reason, and probably the big motivation for the money being donated to Parkinson's disease research, is because sadly and unfortunately, Ozzy Osbourne has Parkinson's, which is an awful way to go out. If you've watched famous people with Parkinson's disease, Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's. It's a terrible disease for people to deal with. Glenn Tipton from Judas Priest has Parkinson's. Here's the thing. A lot of people are calling this a money grab. Here's what this is. Would I pay the price for the tickets? No. I know a lot of people out there are pissed off he's not doing a full set and think those tickets are really expensive, but that's really not what this show is all about. Folks, the last show where Ozzy sang a full set was January 31st, 2018. Aside from the onset of Parkinson's disease, the man has a lot of physical issues, being able to walk properly. He's had a lot of issues physically. Part of this, because look, if you're a musician and you love what you do, and you've been doing it a long time, whether you make a ton of money like Ozzy has in his career, or whether you're like most people and you don't make any money, going on stage and performing is like a drug. It's not something that you can easily walk away from. Especially if you are a guy like Ozzy, who has been doing this for over 50 years. So number one, you have the urge to go back on stage. Guys can't, you just don't turn that off. Very few people could just turn it off. People thought Slayer would never come back because Tom Araya was done touring. Well, they played some shows. Tom probably had the itch to go back on stage and play shows. The money was also good, but you always have that urge to perform. I haven't performed live in a long time, but parts of me still say I should go and do it at some point. But it's not something if you've been doing it for a long time. Because here's the thing, it's all he knows. It's all he's done for most of his life. So and the thing is, I don't think he wanted to go out the way that he did. I think he was forced by Mother Nature and Father Time to walk away sooner than he probably wanted to. And really didn't get the farewell to a very, very successful and influential career that he felt he should have had, and that, in my opinion, I think he deserves. So the only way to really do that is to plan a show in Birmingham, England. Sorry, I don't know why I had a hard time pronouncing that. But in Birmingham, where it all began for Black Sabbath, you invite a bunch of guest musicians, friends, family, get them all together, participate in one last performance so you can get the proper send-off to your career and go out where you feel the most comfortable. Because that's what this is. He wants to go out on his own terms. And it's sad because age and an unfortunate disease really kind of has prevented him from performing and going on tour and being able to do what he once was able to do. You know, like you hear about athletes all the time. They're past their prime. They can't do what they once did. A lot of them never go out on their own terms. Same thing with musicians. So, folks, I think the guy, being one of the most influential people in all of music and in the heavy metal scene, and for all of the shows and festivals and everything he's done over his career, for those people that are haters and want to bash his wife and bash him for this show, sorry, he's earned the right to give himself the send-off that he wants. Nobody forced anybody to buy the tickets. It's not gouging if people are willing to pay for it. But I think the man, he's earned his stripes. He's made his mark. He really doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. He just wants a proper send-off to his career. And I think he deserves that. Are we going to get a full Black Sabbath set? No. But he will at least be on stage, most likely performing with a lot of friends, former bandmates, and colleagues. And a lot of these bands that are going to this show are people that he had a huge influence on, are people that Black Sabbath had a huge influence on, which is practically almost everybody. And I think this is great that he's going to get his proper send-off. Godspeed to Ozzy. The man has definitely made his mark. One of my first ever albums was the live album Tribute, the Randy Rhoads Tribute. Still listen to that to this day. And I probably wouldn't be doing this, what I'm doing right now for the show, if it weren't for people like the Ozzman being part of the scene and being as influential as he has been. And regardless of whatever you want to say about, his career, Ozzy and his wife, you can hate them, like them, doesn't really matter. They always made sure they had a great group of musicians around him. And regardless of what you want to say about any of these people, his career was extremely successful. So that's all I have to say about that. I hope he has a great send-off. I hope the show goes well. It's sad the way that he's going out as far as contracting a disease like Parkinson's disease. It's a very sad thing to hear about from one of the icons in our scene. But I hope he has a great show. I hope it's the proper send-off. And I will still be listening to a lot of his music with the stereo turned up all the way. Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command Podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks
for watching, and if you like what you see and hear on the show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified when we have a new video, and if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.